found kitty number 1. Hello, baby. And kitty number 2. When are you having your babies? Where are the nuggets? Come here, kitty. No, she has to attack Babu. Come here, Babu. Yay! Where are the nuggets? Give them to me. I need your nuggies. Yeah, steal the cat's bed. They don't use it anyway.
I would save you from the kitty. I would save you.
She's so horrified.
Are you safe?
Yay! You know you can come up onto the couch, baby. She's ignoring you. Babu's watching the other direction. That means you can bounce. I bought Ephraim's. They're apricot plum crosses. They pretty much just taste like nectarine. So they're not that exciting, but they are cute and tiny, and I also like this container. I'll probably plant something in these little pods once I've used the container. Yeah, they're like little apricots, but they don't have any fuzz on them. So we are going to be going back to the homestead tomorrow, which will be the 15th of May, because we were just in town for me and my sister's birthday. From the looks of it, it's pretty much going to be rainy the entire week. And then starting next week, it's going to be cloudy but warm. Because of that, I was reading the Farmer's Almanac, and it said that the last threat of frost is on the 23rd. But obviously, there's no below 30 in any of these. And of course, that could change. This is Montana, but there's no below 30 that I can see, and in fact, it does start getting really warm. So what I'm going to try to do is get all of my plants in the ground these 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so that they can have a whole week of rain, and then they'll be in the ground by the time it starts getting sunny again. And I'm hoping that that will give them a good start. The problem, though, is we only have the one 6x6 bed filled with dirt yet, and I still need to build the second garden. So we're gonna have a lot of work these next 3 days. But I think I'll be able to manage it. Babu is very excited. We're gonna go into the wilderness, your favorite place, and you don't even have your sweater on, so you're gonna freeze. 1, 2, 3. Can't open the door with one arm. Go, Babu, go! You can do it! You can jump that far.
Babu! Come here, Babu!
You can jump that far. Yay! Oh, you didn't go to Mommy. Rude. What are you gonna do? Pee on the ground? Yeah. Look how tall the grass is. It's almost a jungle for you. Alright. We're gonna see if my plants survived, because we had to shove them in the shed so that they wouldn't freeze. I forgot the key. Where's my key? Got the key. Okay. Time to go to the shed. So it looks like the greenhouse blew open while we were gone. But that's fine. It's just seedlings in there. Most of them should be okay. Okay, we do have some sprouts, but very few. Just Brussels sprouts. So hopefully these sprout soon. Because these are the majority of our garden right here. Alrighty, so I've gone through and put all the plants away. Pretty much all of them survived, which surprised me. The only exception are the marigolds, which were not in tubs like the rest of them, so the mice actually ate them. So we don't have any more of whatever breed number 1 was. I don't remember, I'll have to look at my notes. We have 4 remaining of number 2, and 4 remaining of number 3, which is what I think the Jolly Jesters were. I might replant the marigolds because it's still pretty early in the season. Aside from that, we do have some tomatoes that look kind of frumpy, but they were already a little frumpy before we put them in the shed. I don't know if this one should survive. It has little sprouts there. Some of the cauliflower is frumpy, but again, it was already like that before we put it in, so this just made it a little bit worse. And the oregano has got some mold on it, which was already starting to grow, so it does make sense that once we shoved it in a black tote for a week, it would start growing. The potatoes are doing really, really well. They really liked that. These ones are looking better than they did. They got kind of beat up when we moved them to the homestead, so I'm glad they're doing a little bit better. These ones look amazing. And like they're all like curled up like from the dark. I didn't know potatoes did that. There's also all these little like sprouts in here, which are probably from me dropping a pot full of seeds in there on accident at one point. I don't even know what kind of seeds they were, so maybe those will turn into something weird. I will actually be planting a lot of plants tomorrow in this bed, at the very least all the tomatoes. So today I'm going to mark off the plots, mix in the vitamins that need mixed in per plant that I'm putting here, and then tomorrow and Sunday we're going to hopefully be working on these raised beds, because Saturday and Sunday are the only days this week where we're not going to have rain. It's Beba's favorite day of the week, the day that she has to put her stupid sweater back on.
You gotta wear it.
It's cold.
It's cold.
It's cold. She's like, no, I don't want to wear the sweater. We also have to put your rabies tag on you so that people don't think you're a rabid squirrel.
Hold still. It would be less painful if you just held still.
She's like, no.
There you go.
She hasn't worn it in so long, she's falling over. She doesn't understand what this new 4th pound of weight she's holding is. Don't you remember? She doesn't want to be with you because you put a sweater on here. So, last time we came up, we had a mouse move into my house. This time we have ants. And when I first came in, I wasn't too worried about it because I actually don't mind ants, because they were just messing with this paper bag I have that had turkey feathers in it. So I just assumed they were eating skin or something that was left over on those feathers. I found them on the side of the road. I didn't kill a turkey. So I was like, okay, whatever. They'll just clean up the bits and pieces that I don't want on there anyway. And then I took a nap, and when I woke up, it's the weirdest thing ever. They're like everywhere in the camper, but I know there isn't food anywhere because I don't really cook in there. We usually cook in my grandma's camper. And I locked everything in containers because of the mouse. And so I have taken the bag of feathers out, so you can see there's just like ants all over it. And like inside, it's almost like they're building a nest, but there aren't any eggs or anything. There's no eggs, there's no queen. So I don't know why they're in there. And they're not eating the turkey feathers at all, so I don't know why they decided that was their favorite spot. And then from there, that was the only place they were when I went to bed. And I was only asleep for probably, I think, 3 or 4 hours. I'm taking a new allergy medication, and I think it made me fall asleep for a really long time. Anyway, so the bag was here, and the ants are like running up there, up the wall, over to here, down to here,
And then some of them are on the counter here, like they're running down to there. Then they're running back up here, up there, all the way back there, up there, up there, up there, back here, and then they just go back to the bag again. So I don't really know what they're doing. And yeah, and there's like more down here, which are like sneaking into a crack in my window. So I don't know, maybe they're living in the wall there. It's just weird. I've never seen ants do that before. And like I said, they were only in that bag when I went to sleep. So since 3 hours ago, they've all started running around. This is Babu's favorite game. She's being more ferocious now. Earlier she was just licking, but now she's getting fed up. You're annoying. She wants food. I get you. She's not doing it now.
Oh, she's not licking though.
She's like, why are you filming me? Babu's thing is she just always wants to lick your hands. So when you try to do that, she just licks your hand instead of sticking her face in it. I don't know why she's not doing it now. She doesn't like the camera. Or do you just want food? Come here, Babu. Come here. I went outside without Babu and now she's freaking out. She needs snuggles. Stop licking my face. You gremlin. You gremlin. Wipe it off on your shirt. Yes, did I abandon you for approximately 35 seconds? Stop. She makes, I don't know if you can even, stop. I don't know if you can even hear it. She makes this little noise. I don't really know what it is. It sounds like a ghost or a little car engine going. And I really don't know. Okay, you're gonna scoot here for like 30 seconds. I don't really know what it means. I don't know if it's her distress noise because I left her alone or her happy noise because I came back. She does it when she's cold too, so I think it's an unhappy noise, but it could also just be the noise she makes when she's getting snuggles. The fog is very surreal today. Looks like a horror movie. But it's actually not that cold, it just looks wild. What do you need? What do you need? Pet, 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 pet. Pet, 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 pets. Are you a gremlin?
You missed my nose.
Pet, 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 pet. You're like, fine. Pet, 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 pet. Fine. Babu pets. I've never seen the fog up here before. It's really cool. The battery's almost dead on my camera. I need to charge it. The sun finally came out. I'll show you what I've been working on. Actually, I'll also show you the fence because we finished that while my camera was charging. You can't really see it on camera. You can't even really see it in real life. The fence is so see-through. But for the original stakes, we used those fence posts. We thought we ran out, but we actually had 3 more. But for the rest of them, we used these bamboo poles, 2 of them tied together. And then we zip corded them all to pretty much everything they could physically be zip corded to. These flags are basically to scare the whitetails away because white-tailed deer signal danger by flashing their little white tails. So it tends to frighten them. But I actually am going to have my grandma, I think, move those up to the very top. I don't really think I like them right there. Hi, Boo Boo. Are you glad the sun came out? Yeah. Yours is tiny. We haven't put a fence like above this gate yet. I just don't really know how I want to do it. So I've been going through the greenhouse and pulling out all of the tomatoes and sweet peppers. So we have them all laid out where I want to plant them. We have 4.5 kinds of 4.5 kinds of tomato going in this bed. I'll explain the half tomato in a minute. So we have 4 of Mr. Barbetti's Pantano Romanescos, which I am very excited about, which is why I planted 4 of them. 2 Castelluto Florentinos. I planted 3, but only 2 survived. You'll see in this one I actually never thinned out these guys, so it's probably just going to be survival of the fittest at this point. We have 2 plots that are dedicated to Martino's Roma tomatoes, and the half tomato would be the regular Roma, because I actually want to see which does better, which tastes better, and then potentially crossbreed a couple plants just to see what will happen. You'll see that in some of these plots there's 2 pots, and that's because I actually planted more seeds than I needed, and since more germinated than I needed, what I'm doing is planting just 2 of each in certain plots, and then again it'll just be a survival of the fittest thing. And then over here, actually I guess, yeah, so over here, these 2 are actually mystery tomatoes, so those are like seedlings that I thinned out, but were vibrant enough that I put them in another plant pot, but I didn't actually mark what they were. So there's actually a couple of those that are unmarked, and a couple bell peppers that are unmarked. I have things kind of laid out in a funny way, so there's like bell peppers, and in that one is some marigolds. There's marigolds there too, because they're a bug deterrent. So I have peppers pretty much between every variety of tomato, because even though tomatoes don't really crossbreed on their own, I am saving the seeds, so I do want to make sure there's like no chance of crossbreeding, or at the very least minimal chance. As for the final kind of tomato I have, we have the Agripoli d'Invernos. However, I am not planting these in the big bed out there, because from the reviews I read, they are very viney and they get everywhere. So instead I'm probably going to plant them in this trellis bed right here. Babu smells the chicken manure. She wants to roll in it or something, but she's not getting to because I don't know what else is in that stuff. I've planted all the little seedlings. The tomatoes I pretty much planted all the way up to their first leaves because they'll grow roots out of their stalk, so the roots will go all the way down. They're so small you can't even see that there's anything there. And then there's the marigold there and the marigold there. And then now I'm just gonna sprinkle this in. So we just got back from the plant store and the apothecary. When we were at the store, I picked up 2 strawberry varieties, one evergreen, one, what is this called? Oh, Eversweet, sorry. And the Quinault. And then I picked up 4, just a little pot of marigolds, because all of my marigolds are still sprouts. And since they mostly got eaten by the mice, I figured I'd pick up another one. We're getting ready to fill the second bed. Mom is sorting. Babu's suntanning. And then once we've done that, I will plant the final tomatoes, the d'Invernos, and then I'm going to fill up one of these beds, that little one or something, and that's going to be our salad garden, which I will also plant. Alrighty, we have one of the 2 salad beds set up. I have all the seeds out here, and in my homestead journal, I have made a list of where all the seeds will go. We're actually going to split them up between these 2 beds. I was originally going to use that for beets, but I've decided I'm just going to put the beets in there. So We're going to split it up between these two beds, and in the middle of each one is going to be a marigold. It is Sunday the 17th. It was a very warm night last night, so I'm hoping the tomatoes did well. My mom said she heard an explosion at about 4 a.m., but we don't know what that would be. I didn't hear it, I was asleep. Which is surprising, because usually I wake up very easily. Good afternoon. It is May 18th, Monday. I didn't really film yesterday, I just didn't really feel like it, but that's fine since this is a week's worth of footage, so it would be too much to edit anyway if I was constantly filming. I did do a lot of work in the garden yesterday, if I can get the gate open as usual. Babu is naked because it is warm. It is warm and toasty. This is our last day of sun this week. Tomorrow it starts raining. It actually has rained a couple times early in the morning, even though the forecast said it wouldn't. So we had a big thunderstorm last night. And I am deathly afraid of thunder. Because when I was a kid, we lived in Nashville. And Nashville has a lot of tornadoes. So anytime there was a thunderstorm in Nashville, there would be a tornado somewhere and I would have to listen to that siren. So to this day, thunderstorms scare me to death. Even though I know there's not a tornado in the mountains of Montana, I'm always expecting to hear that siren, so I can't go to sleep. So like it took me forever to fall asleep last night. And then I woke up super early when it started raining again. So I didn't get a lot of sleep. So yesterday we did the second salad garden. This one has kale and chard and spinach in it. This one has 4 cauliflowers and 2 Brussels sprouts. I have started another Brussels sprout, but it hasn't sprouted yet. And that's going to go right there where you see that pile of stuff. I do not know what's going on this side. We will find out. Possibly peas, because I might as well use the space if I have it. I planted all of the summer squash and zucchini and cucumbers in these beds. They're all seeds, so it's going to be a while before we see anything growing. Gotta bury that bean, it got washed out. But I spaced them so that different varieties weren't touching each other, which was kind of a pain in the booty. There. And there's also some beans in this bed too. Some of the more rare heirlooms I got, I put them in this bed because most of the beans are going in the second garden. I planted those little strawberries I got in a teeny tiny bed that I made. I also put the 3 asparaguses I've sprouted in here because asparagus and strawberries complement each other. I buried the potatoes a little bit more just because I had extra dirt. And I added just some stakes there to hold up the plastic, but the plastic blew away. I'm probably not going to use the plastic anymore anyway. Okay, so what I am working on is the second garden because I need to get it done. So what I've started doing is hanging this rope about 6 feet off the ground. It does need to be at least 8 feet, but I can only reach 6 feet. So the first layer is just going to be 6 feet, and then we'll add another one on top once I get a ladder. I have 2 sides done. That one was exactly 50 feet and it reached. That one was 30 feet and it just barely reached. But my last rope is only 30 feet, so it's not going to reach that side, so I'm actually going to undo it.
You can't see it very well, but there it is.
Yeah, it's impossible to see on camera. It's impossible to see in real life. It's like the glass door of nature. So all I'm doing to connect this is I'm doing 5 of these little zip ties and then 1 big one every few rows. I'm trying to make sure to grab at least 2 squares at a time so that it's not just 1 piece of plastic holding it up. And this is like really nice thick deer fence from my grandpa, my great-grandpa. And supposedly he has more, but until my grandma comes down, my regular grandma, not my great-grandma, my regular grandma comes down, we can't get it. So that's why we're waiting for her to come down, but she keeps canceling. So we might just have to buy our own. While I was clearing the foliage, I found a wild strawberry. So now I have to mark it so that I can find it later. I'm just cutting down all these weeds. These ones are actually Oregon grapes, but we have those everywhere. So we won't miss it too many. There's actually a whole field of them over there. Me and Babu are in bed because it's starting to get cold. It's supposed to rain for pretty much the next week. It hasn't started raining yet, but it's cold, so I'm not outside anymore. We're planning a rough layout for the second garden. So, as of now, I want 4 corn beds that are 4 foot by 4 foot, which will fit about 16 corn in each of them, because this year's mostly an experiment for corn. And then we're going to have 2 trellis beds, but they're not going to be as long as the one in the first garden. They're actually going to be 1 by 4, so they're each going to be half that length. And instead of that plastic trellis I have in those ones, we're actually going to be using chicken wire for the trellis in the middle. And then aside from those, I'm going to be putting some strawberries there, and I might do just a general raised bed there that I haven't quite planned what I want to put in it yet, but we can plan that later, because I will plant as much as I have space for. And then here's the sketch for the trellis bed. It's hard to see you. Babu's just chilling out. Looking like a doofus as usual. Good morning, it is May 19th. Babu woke me up because she's very excited. Very excited. She insisted on coming over. She kept running to the door.
Babaloo! Get in the covers, Babaloo! Get in the covers!
In covers.
Get in the covers! In the covers! In the covers!
I kept trying to do things and then she'd run to the door. So I soaked some peas in water overnight. I'm gonna go plant them in the garden in some of those extra spots that I have. I also put some sunflower seeds and watermelon seeds in some water this morning to soak, mostly because I forgot to do it last night. And the sunflowers are going to go by my trailer, and the watermelons, I don't know why, I just apparently forgot to start them. So they need to go in starter pots. And since it didn't rain last night, I need to water everything. It's even getting a little sunny. I don't know, maybe it's going to rain tonight instead, because it's supposed to be rainy all week. To rainproof the tomatoes, I put little cups over them, poked air holes in them, because tomatoes don't like their leaves getting wet. It gives them leaf rot. And since these tomatoes only have like 2 or 3 leaves, can't afford to give them leaf rot. Not only is it not rainy, the sun actually came out, so hopefully it'll rain tomorrow, because I wanted rain for the plants. Hello, Babu. Are you going on a journey? Did you want to come to the garden? I'm going to go work in the other garden. I found a bunch of the ants. They're really hard to see on camera. They're eating a piece of cake or something that fell on this chair. I opened it to put at the table. Okay, right now I'm just planting all of the squash and things that I can in bigger containers, the ones that have sprouted, so that they can sit outside during the rainstorm this week. Also, I was looking at this bed, and originally I was going to fill it 8 inches on this side and 4 inches on this side, but I don't think we need to fill this side at all, because I was originally going to fill this side for the beets, but I've counted the number of spaces that this half will have, and it's going to have more than enough for beets in it, so we're probably just going to leave this side empty this year. No soil digging for us. I've decided to take a break from building boxes, well, not building boxes, filling boxes with dirt, to cut some more shrub underbrush down. I have about a third of it done, but I still have all of that. It just hurts my back to do it for too long, so I've been taking breaks when I can, but as soon as it's done, I'll be able to start building the boxes and the raised beds, and hopefully we'll be able to finish the fence soon, because right now it's only about 40% finished.
Here's the second garden. She's got it pretty cleaned out. This all came up.
World's longest.
We have an ugly Christmas tree right in the center of it that we're gonna leave.
I love my ugly Christmas trees. I'm saving them all. I don't care what Grandma says. They are my ugly Christmas trees. I have like 5 of them that my
Here's a
grandma
little
doesn't
baby
like.
ugly Christmas tree.
And that, yeah, my little baby one that I found while I was cutting down the underbrush. Hi, baby. Were you lost in the wilderness? What are you doing over there? Your harness is twisted. Come on. Mom is burning the underbrush, so if there's a good enough fire, I want to roast marshmallows, because I am tired of cutting down things. We had one casualty. I cut down one at the top of one strawberry stalk. There was another one next to it, but I'm still sad. Are marshmallows your new favorite? She knows I'm gonna clean her face. Run, Bamboo, run. You look like a doofus. I was standing here looking at the smoke, and my first thought was, oh no, it's gonna set the fire alarm off. I guess the fire alarm of the wilderness is the fire department. All that waiting, and the wind's picking up and the storm clouds are coming in. So I have to recover the tomatoes and bring in any tools that are laying out in the garden. It's supposed to be a thunderstorm, and as you know, I don't like thunderstorms. But yeah, terrifying. I hate how dark thunder clouds are. They just look so ominous. Gotta bring my Star Wars mug in. I used it to carry my peas out. Also, apparently, so I put aside 3 spots for my Brussels sprouts. Apparently, I forgot to plant one of them. Like, I started 2 Brussels sprouts, but I didn't start a third one, so I need to start that one. It will just be a little bit smaller than those 2, but first I need to find my Brussels sprout seeds. There's like moths hanging out. There's like a bunch of them flying around. Like, oh, they might be drinking the water. Yeah, because there's one over there too, and they're all hanging out on the watered spots. And so what I'm doing with these cups is I'm just burying them a little bit and hoping that once it rains, the water will weigh down that enough. And I'm only doing this with the tomatoes. It'll keep them warm if it gets super cold, and it'll keep them dry so that they don't get leaf rot.